Oh god, Limsa? Oh yeah, we went to her, didn't we? This is odd that it is actually making me reminisce on all of this. Right, where we're going? That away. Hey, it's not the after castle. No. The other thing. Never mind. Still need to finish the Moogle quests. Alexander, this is most unexpected. Do you have business with the Admiral? A journey of remembrance, you say? Well, far be it from me to deny you. Unannounced or not, I suspect the Admiral will be most displeased if she heard that I had turned you away. Thank the Navigator! I had resigned myself to another day spent listening to my advisors prattle on about the Beastmen's latest movements. Come, Alexander, tell me of your adventures. These guardians sail in uncharted waters. Though I hope these new reforms of theirs meet with no resistance. 'Twould not be the first grand voyage to run afoul of reefs ere it properly began. But with Sir Emmerich at the helm, they may yet chart a course for generations to follow. Which is not to say our own doesn't need correcting. The Alliance has grown complacent. The bloody nose you gave us at the melee showed me that. Nor have I forgotten the lessons of the banquet. Rest assured, we will root out any further turncoats before the dagger is at our back. You have my word on that, and Lady Ugiri's besides. She had never been one to retreat, much less in the face of transparent theatrics. But this has been no ordinary battlefield, its rules of engagement anything but clear. So she would watch, and she would learn, and in time she would act. Oh, we're at the end. Well, at least the end for now. I'm suspicious there may be more to it. Visit Higiri and Revenant's Tour. Yeah, I think there's going to be more to this. Alright, where we're going? Ah, up this way. I don't really visit here very often. I should come by more often. And then again, actually, no, I do. What am I talking about? Ignore me. I'm talking nonsense. Alright, where am I going? Potentially upstairs, but I'm going to check down here first. Yep, it seems to be upstairs. Hello, Higiri. Master Alexander, is aught amiss? No, not really. I'm both flattered and surprised that you should remember my small role in this tale, given the grandeur of your subsequent endeavours. Though I must confess to having derived some selfish pleasure from donning the garments of the shinobi once more. I am honored to have been able to assist in freeing General Rauban from his captivity. And I believe I speak for all my countrymen when I say that we are most grateful to have been granted the opportunity to contribute to the restoration of the Scions. Much has changed, it is true, and much may never be as it once was. But in watching you and yours rise from the ashes and rebuild, I am reminded that we must never give in to despair, for there is always something which may yet be saved. The oaths we swear. Prevention was ever better than cure, as Higiri knows only too well. Will you be travelling to Ul'dah next? If so, I would ask a favour of you. I prepared a special unguent to aid in General Rauban's rehabilitation. Injuries such as his must be tended to daily, even long after they have healed. You need only deliver this to the man. To his man, Commander Swift. He will see that the Flames General receives it. I can't help but noticing the giant plate of peas. Few of Shinobi have the fortitude and strength of will to return to the battle. Oh, what the heck happened there? To return to the battlefield after suffering so grievous an injury. Not only do they struggle to adapt their techniques, but many complain of strange, inexplicable aches. Should General Rauban experience them, it is my hope that the unguent will help. Right, well, to Ul'dah then. I'm going to get a quick drink to sort out that terrible cough. I apologise. Hopefully that's helped. Do 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 do. Hop, hip, scop. Greetings, Lieutenant Balius. What is it you have there? Dormant unguent, containing a variety of ground herbs and natural oils. The recipe for this traditional medicine has been passed down for generations. Unguent? I was not aware the General required such stuff. And one of our Doman friends made this for him, did she? Very well, I shall be sure to pass it on. Actually, wait here. We have just this moment concluded a meeting, and I expect he will be glad to speak with you before returning to the palace. So, Commander Swift tells me you came all this way to deliver unguent? Daily, she says. Ha! Well, mayhaps it is best to be prudent. The gods alone know why you agreed to deliver it for her, though. Whoa, whoa! That skipped over quickly. I jest, lad. You're on a journey of reflection, are you not? Aye, Mirrorweb said as much. And now you want to relive the moment you pulled me from the pit of Ilbert left me into rot. It shames me to think of it, that I was so blind to his hatred. Lolorito tells me that it was not always so, that Ilbert admitted to him once. To him, he once believed that I would return to Alamigo at the head of an army. But years passed and I did nothing. For all my accomplishments, for all my wealth, power and influence, I did naught to better the plight of my people. Not for lack of trying, but Ilbert didn't know. He thought the bull of Alamigo had grown fat and complacent, that my story set a bad example for our countrymen. Forget your homeland and chase the Ul'dah dream, a fine, impossible dream, which gave men the strength to endure their hardships and try to make new lives for themselves here. So, the dream had to die. He would kill me, stir up the disillusioned, arm them at the monetarist's expense, and then... Forgive me. The silence paid the price for my failings. The gods know I have no shortage of debts to repay, of vows to keep and duties to discharge. But mark me well, lad. There will be a reckoning. Mayhap not today, mayhap not tomorrow, but a reckoning there will be. A refugee of a fallen nation, he had risen from the depths of poverty to claim a seat on the syndicate. Yet for all his great deeds, one was left undone. And like sands through an hourglass, the years slipped away, taking with them an old friend's hope. Okay, let's quickly scroll back. I want to see if I did actually miss something there. Ah! Unless you means to favour me with that rematch I requested. That was what it was. It was so short that it immediately skipped it. Visit Gorgan Mills at the Querthus Western Highlands. Wait. Western? Is that correct? Oh yeah, Western. Do do do, scratchy time. Do 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 do. Ta done. See, the funny thing is, I actually didn't intend to do these quests at first. Well, no, there has been 2 quests so far, because I thought they were side quests, which I obviously normally don't do within the main stuff anymore, because these are obviously meant to focus on the patches. But I'm really glad that I got persuaded by the fact that you get something for doing this, which is a really terrible reason for doing these. But there's a million side quests. I can't do all of them yet. But this one's like a perfect way to wrap this up, so I'm glad that we're doing it. And here is where we met Izel on talking terms for the first time. By the Fury! Is that you, Master Ballius? Forgive me, but what reason could you possibly have for returning to this god-forsaken place? Mayhap it is fate which brings you here on this day of introspection and reflection. We are come to Gagne Mills to accept the surrender of a half-dozen heretics who once fought for Lady Iceheart. If you are intended to visit the cellars, I would ask that you do nothing to unsettle them. Speak with the patient heretic. Wait, I know you! You were at the amphitheater with the Dragon Slayer! I suppose we owe you an apology. When you came to us seeking to parley, we were sure it was a scheme to lure out Our Lady. We were sure about a lot of things. When she first shared her revelations, when she told us that she was not Saint Shiva reborn, we assumed it was a test. For had we not prayed for salvation? Had she not descended to deliver us from evil? She replied that our prayers were but fuel for a fevered dream, a construct born of desperation and denial. She was no saviour, she said. But when we marched upon Ishgard regardless, she pulled us back from the brink of oblivion and implored us to find another way. And here we are, ready to lay down our arms at last. It's time. She considered you a friend. Had things been different, perhaps we could have been friends too. Farewell. I wonder what's going to happen to them. Forsaken by gods and men, they found salvation in revelation. They would take up arms against their own kind to set ancient wrongs to right. Cut out Ishgard's festering heart, and the war would be over. This they knew, believed with all their being, until their saviour told them the efforts would be for naught. This is back in Ishgard, I believe. No, I'm incorrect. It's nice thinking back on all these things. A lot has happened. And while we still do have, I believe, 2 patches left in this story, we've actually ended on a high note, which so rarely happens. I even got brought to tears by the scene with Estinian. Oops. Well, if it isn't the great warrior of light himself, he who slew the dread worm Nidhogg, bringing an end to 1,000 years of war, my very livelihood. Well, go on then, strike me down and finish the job, stab me right in the heart. I'll even lend you my spear if you like. After all, I won't be bloody needing it. Oh, tell me the truth. For a moment I had you fooled. Ye gods! As if I could hate the man who rid us of Nidhogg. Oh, and lest you worry, that business about me losing my livelihood couldn't have been further from the truth. In point of fact, peace has proven surprisingly lucrative. As our nation's ties with Hresvalga's brood have grown stronger and our interests in Ravania have begun to expand, we have seen a marked increase in the number of travellers on the road. Needless to say, said travellers require protection, which we are only too happy to provide. Granted, such work will not earn you a lordship like slaying a dragon might, but it pays well and it's far less prone to end in incineration. Which seems a reasonable enough compromise, all things considered. As long as there are wars to fight, there will ever be those who take up arms, not out of hatred or even a sense of duty, but merely for want of better employment. When presented with an alternative, such individuals may gladly trade their swords for scythes, or failing that, pledge them to a more worthy cause. Where is Tailfeather? There. Something the matter, son? Night giving you trouble? A journey of remembrance, eh? Gods, it feels like only yesterday that Azelle turned up in tail feather. With you in tow. Back into our lives and gone all too soon. Did I ever tell you how we found her 5 years back? In a torpor out in the forest all by her lonesome. Ah, well, we weren't about to leave her there, so we carried her back here and tended to her till she woke up. Didn't say a word for days, Azelle. Just sat there and stared up at the sky, as if the ground held nothing for her. And it didn't, we learned. When she finally spoke. Now, you might think she's not one to smart, but if you'd seen her in those years that followed, then one day, all of a sudden, she says she's got a truth that must be shared, up and leaves for God knows where. And that was the last I heard of her. For a time. Redemption's not beyond us, friends. Come and hear the truth. Come and hear Lady Eyesight speak. And they did, from far and wide. Or so the story went. Some said there was nothing in it, but I knew. I think, Alexander, that deep down, most folk want to be right by themselves and by others. And they try, oh well, they try. You certainly do. You do, certainly. And so did she. Next up, oh for God's sake, I'm guessing it's this one.